Hey guys, and welcome to my online Photoshop tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to dramatically change a photograph in a couple of really easy but really effective steps. So we've got this beautiful photo here, colours, popping, very rich, very colourful. This is the original. How did we get there? So we've got our original photo. We want to bring up some of these colours. At the moment it's looking a little bit grey and a little bit drab. So if you go down to the right, you've got a little symbol here, and this is to create a new adjustment layer. So just simply click, and you've got lots of different options. But today I'm going to show you a pretty special one that you can use on most photos, which is vibrance. So just click. Okay, so now we've got our vibrance bar and our saturation bar. So if you just move up the vibrance bar, as you can see, it's starting to bring up the colours in a really nice subtle way. Now this is more used for maybe skin tones and things where you don't want to overplay the colours, just a little bit works. But for this photo we're going to go a little bit more dramatic. So go to the saturation level and just bring this up and watch the change you're going to get. Brought up the colours into the orange, into the green, into the dress, and it's looking a little bit more vibrant. I'm going to bring up the vibrancy as well, just to let it burst out a little bit more. But be careful, obviously at the moment we've got quite a lot of orange appearing in the centre, we might not want that. So let's bring that down just a tad. Okay. Now I might want to bring up the colours a little bit further, so once again click on adjustment layer, and this time I'm just going to focus on the saturation. It's a saturation on its own, so we've got a main saturation bar here. I'm just going to bring this up. And look at that. How beautiful is that? It's brought up the colours really, really nicely. Got a couple of issues in the middle of the photo here, you can see. We'll try and get around that in a second. Okay. Now, I want to bring up these mountains at the bottom, because at the moment they're still looking a little dark. And she is silhouetted, which is nice, but maybe we want to bring her up a little bit too. So, okay, really easy way to do this is to duplicate the background layer. So just click, drag, and duplicate. So now we've got two. So on the duplicate layer, go to your adjustment layer again, okay? And then this time, we're going to go to brightness and contrast. So click. So if we bring up the brightness, ignore the sky for now, just focus on the woman and the mountains, because the sky is obviously going a little bit crazy. And we're just going to bring these up, get them really nice, really rich, really popping. Okay, that looks great. But obviously, it's very bright at the moment, and we don't want all that brightness spoiling our nice sky that we'd created. Really easy way to do this. Go back down to where you've got your adjustment layer again, but next to it, you've got your vector mask. If you just click here, we've created a vector mask on our bright layer. Then if you go to the paint tool, make sure that you're on black. Do it a little bit larger. And then what we can do is remove some of that brightness from the sky, but try and keep it in the bottom. Now this is non-destructive, so whenever you create one of these layers, it's non-destructive. So if you change to the white paint tool, and you paint back over, it brings back in the brightness. So just select back black again, do it slightly smaller, and then just work round. Try not to go over the mountains, because we're going to try and keep them a little bit lighter. That was the whole point of this, really, this effect, just to add a little bit to that. Also makes the sun pop out quite nicely as well. I'm going to turn down the brightness slightly, because at the moment it's probably standing out a bit too much still. Okay, that's pretty good. There we go. If we look at the difference that's given to the photo, it's brought out the bottom of the photo, so that pops out a lot more now. And it's also fixed the little issues we had with the sky where it over affected. You can see on the mountains where we brought up the contrast and saturation bit overkill, so it kind of affected the mountains. But with this now we've fixed that, so it looks quite nice. Okay, the final things we can do, edges of the photo. I always feel like if you darken the edges of a photo, it can focus the viewer into the image a bit more, and I quite like it as an effect. So very simply, go to your background copy, the one that you've added all the colours and things to, create a new one, go to adjustment layer again, brightness and contrast, bring this all the way down or pretty low. Now don't worry, it looks a bit weird at the moment, but it does work, trust me. So brightness down, contrast up a little bit, that looks fine. And again, just create a new mask layer, make sure you're on black, and just all you need to do is just paint in more in the middle and leave the outer bits a little bit, so you're giving that darkness around the edge, but you're focused in on the middle a bit more. Okay, so you can see the difference without, with, without, with. So it's just adding a bit more drama to the photo. You can up the saturation and the vibrancy to a photo, and that really does make a dramatic change to any photo, if I'm honest. If you want to add colours and really make them stand out, that's a really great way to do it. And then obviously you can go to other things if you wanted. You could go to render, lens flare, if you wanted to do these things and just add in little extra things, you know, little effects and stuff. But to be honest, on this photo it doesn't need it. It looks great. And if you just see the difference with the original and the one that we've done, you can really see what we've done in very simple, very easy steps. So try that out, guys, you know, on your own photos. Make them stand out, make them pop, make them look amazing, and I will see you next time. Take care.